Hey, welcome back, guys. I must say, from the bottom of my heart, I missed y'all, and I'm fresh back from vacation. Me and the wife had a beautiful time in Puerto Rico, and I'm ready to provide y'all with the second half video cycle of Power Ghost Season 4. And there is much to discuss, so I'm gonna begin with the latest teaser that dropped and break it down frame by frame, and also discuss the likelihood of Tariq's potential demise in the second half of the final season of Power Ghost. Before we begin, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and bell notification to immediately receive these videos. Also, big thank you to all of my channel donors. If you'd like to be the next one, drop $1 on that Cash App for us. And lastly, a spoiler alert is now in effect for all things Power. Here we go. In the first frame of the teaser, following a quick glance at Tariq, we get Monet, Tariq, and Diana being held at gunpoint by Howard, seemingly anyway. This is likely the scene where Tariq is roped into the extortion plot that the Tejadas are currently facing, courtesy of Carter. Then, we see a worried Davis McLean, who's likely in this spirit due to an unknown offense against Noma, or yet another blow to his career and a final nail in that coffin, or lastly, maybe even mourning his late brother, who unfortunately deleted himself last season. Then, Tariq and Tasha share a close embrace, but is it their final one? And will Tasha survive this season? If she was to be executed, it would raise some serious questions for Tariq's character. And depending on how the narrative goes after the Power Ghost saga, we may or may not get to see it. So fingers crossed for one of the last of a dying breed. We see Noma likely giving Kane some new marching orders against Zion and the competition at large, as we later see Kane punching an unnamed man in the face and then seemingly on the retaliation end of Zion's machine gun funk due to that ass whipping that he handed him in the final episode of Part 1. Next up, a seemingly distraught Effie is displayed. Now this could be a scene where we could receive a flashback, offering further insight into Effie's life and family. Will she survive the final 5 from where you're sitting? All signs point to an ambiguous answer, as she's later depicted on the run from something. Then, Carter preps for a menacing second half of Season 4. What will his angle be in the final 5? We later see him in a shootout with Kamal Tate, and looking towards the camera as if he's committed an unpardonable offense. Is this the scene where Tate is killed due to putting the pieces together against Carter? I guess we'll see. Next, we get either Monet or Tasha going for the pistol, and then Tariq gets choked out, but by who? It likely could be Zion or maybe someone else. Then Brayden pulls a gun, seemingly in Elle's place of residence. Will he be the one to pull the trigger, or is there another angle, perhaps even a setup? I'll expand on that in a video to come. The next frame, and dare I say most surprising, Diana's catching a body it seems. Who is she killing? Who is it against? And more importantly, what does this mean for her baby? Remember, Diana gave Tariq an ultimatum in the final scene of episode 5, and even walked away from him when he gave her an answer that she wasn't trying to hear. How they got from that place to this is going to be an interesting story development, one that I'm sure we're all eagerly anticipating. Following that frame, we get an inconsolable Congressman Tate. His expression here is one of deep sadness, likely due to his brother's forthcoming demise. How will he use his influence to respond to it? Would Carter set up the death to link back to Tariq and other dealers in order to conceal his tracks? This is something I can't wait to see. Quickly, we get a shot of Noma placing her infamous blade to Tariq's neck, followed by Brayden in the hospital. But for who? Is it Elle? Or even Becca? Or worse yet, even his brother Trace, who has been beaten, bludgeoned, and threatened earlier this season by none other than Kane. As the trailer moves along, we see Drew in confinement, orange jumpsuit and all. Was he put there by Carter due to a Tejada family misstep and Carter's clandestine drug ring? Perhaps they killed somebody they shouldn't have. Or this could be a way of Carter moving the goalpost and penalizing them simply to keep them in line. And finally, we get that infamous shot of Tariq pulling the trigger on an unnamed soul, followed by the title, Like Father, Like Son. The interesting thing about this teaser overall is the soundtrack, because it's the same song they used in the final 5 of the original Power series. And in that series, we saw the death of the series lead and the end of an era altogether. As this is the final season of Power Ghost, could Tariq be heading down the same trajectory? Is Power Ghost, Starz, 50 Cent, and by extension, Courtney Kemp ballsy enough to kill Tariq St. Patrick? I mean, they killed Ghost, or at least all had a hand in Ghost's demise. So hey, who's to rule out that something wouldn't happen to his son? Because after all, it's like father, like son, right? So if his father died, Tariq gets to live? It'd be interesting to see how they're going with this thing. And remember, in the final 5 episodes of OG Power, Ghost was targeted by 5 individuals. It was Dre, Paz Valdez, the sister of Angela Valdez, his brother and former partner in crime, Tommy Egan, his brother in politics turned frenemy, Councilman Tate, and lastly, his very own blood, Tariq St. Patrick, and Tasha by extension. These were the personalities after Ghost due to his crimes and offenses against them. So the question remains in our contemporary Power series, who's after Tariq or could potentially be after Tariq due to his offenses against them? Let's break it down. If Tariq is shot, similar to his father, or an attempt made on his life rather, who has the most reason to kill him or harm him in such a way? Let's start with Diana herself. Tariq made a choice to reach the top of the game despite having a child on the way, with a mother who's seeking an exit from the game. If her child is jeopardized in any way, or dare I say exterminated, this will give Diana cause to crash out against him. Next, Braden. Now this is Tariq's right-hand man, as Tommy was Ghost's right-hand man, yet still sought his death in the original series. Now if Tariq is potentially involved in Elle's inevitable demise to come, this would give Braden impetus to strike back against him. Either Tariq sets it up for Braden to carry out, or carries it out himself. Also, the mounting deceptions over the years against his brother could be a major catalyst in them severing ties once and for all. The third potential culprit on our list would be Kane Tejada. Now, Kane has plenty of grievances against Tariq. He holds Tariq responsible for ruining the Tejada family, taking over his position in said family, thus fueling his jealous nature, and more recently, impregnating his little sister, which alone could cause a man to crash out against someone he doesn't like. And remember, in Tariq's now signature vision caused by being drugged by Elle, it was Kane who shoots Tariq, and then Diana followed. So if Tariq is taken off the board, it could be by a Tejada. But not the next Tejada I'm gonna name because I just don't see it, but I'll name him nonetheless. And that would be Drew. Now Drew, in my estimation, doesn't really have a valid reason to kill Tariq, but Tariq did embarrass him profusely at the start of this season, injuring him by crashing into his car, but he didn't kill him, and he could have. So if it comes down to Drew and Tariq, it'd just be fair that it wasn't Drew, because Drew a whole ass nigga, like, let's be real. Next up could be Noma. Now Noma does have a reason to kill Tariq, and it's one very simple one, and that's her daughter, Anya. Tariq's proximity to Anya in particular, because if he exposed her true occupation or endangered her daughter in any way, it's absolute curtains for our boy. And remember, observe the look on Noma's face when Tariq was playing the middle between both ends with Anya and her mom. She really wanted to kill that boy right there. So if it comes down to Noma, it's a wrap. Next up, Monet. Now, although Monet and Tariq have recently made peace and have had general peace throughout their alliance, Tariq did have a role in her assassination attempt, at least by extension through his mother. But last we saw, she did forgive him for this, or did she? And finally, Effie. Now, the only way I can see Effie coming against Tariq is if he somehow got in the way of her future, either financially, educationally, or otherwise. If he crossed any of those lines, he'd be marked for death. But other than that, Effie should be lucky to be alive playing with Tariq. And if Tariq choked her out just before the world, it'd be justified. But that'll do it for this one. What are your thoughts on those recent teaser images? And how do you see Tariq's fate playing out? Will he live or will he die? Be sure to drop me your opinions in the comments below. As always, I thank you for watching today's video. If you liked today's video, go ahead and drop $1 on that Cash App for us, hit the like button, share it with your friends who are Power fans, and subscribe for more content such as this. This is Rudy P. Magic of Rudy P. Magic Beats, and have a blessed one until the next one. Peace, y'all.